Good morning, good evening, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the newest episode of What If Naruto Was an Otsutsuki? And we'll just get straight into it, taking off from last episode. Naruto and the strange Otsutsuki girl. Also, please do comment a name for her, as I still haven't made one up. Naruto and the strange Otsutsuki girl begin practicing on activating his Joken first. This time he manages to do it in a couple of tries, as it was his dojutsu before his reincarnation. But he still needs to try to activate it first before he can freely use it. Naruto, of course, is a little bit excited about having another dojutsu, as he didn't know he had one, or that there even were more dojutsus than the Byakugan and the Sharingan. But in a few minutes, let's say, Naruto finally gets the Joken activated for the first time. At least I believe he did. Naruto is very proud of himself, and the Otsutsuki girl she kind of knew it would happen, but is also a bit shocked that it happened so fast. He then gets explained some abilities that he should start off with. For this, I'll make it like a chakra pool. Like, he can take other people's chakra and make it and use it himself. And they permanently will lose this chakra, just as an explanation. Naruto, however, Naruto picks this up not as fast, needing a whole day of training to pick it up. But it eventually does succeed, and it would drain most of a human's chakra. However, for an Otsutsuki, it would barely drain any. Of course, it gets stronger and stronger the more it goes on. The next thing that would happen was that he goes back to Hatake for a while and just stays with him, saying his goodbyes to the Otsutsuki girl. He then, as he goes back to Hatake, continues on with being in school himself. Of course, he'd still be acing everything, and now we make a time skip to around the Genin exam. Naruto, for the first written proportion, aces it, as he's always done. The Hokage even made it harder than any other test that has ever been done in history. Something that only the Kage, should be able to do. But Naruto still aced it without a problem. And no matter what Minato tried, he always aced the tests. He even made Naruto take the Genin exam again, just to make sure. However, Naruto then moves on to the first jutsu test, which of course will be the clone jutsu, where you have to make any clone, doesn't matter how good. Naruto says Kage Yoshin no Jutsu, the shadow clone jutsu. However, he has to think the thing to play it, so he does an Otsutsuki style clone, which of course is what would be perfect clone. And so he passes, and he makes 3 of them, which is better than anyone else in the class, so he aces that one too. And now onto the fight proportion, which I've added myself, I believe. I don't believe it was in canon. However, Naruto will be fighting against Mizuki for this one, because he has to fight one of the teachers, and it's about how long he lasts. If you defeat the teacher, then you will have 10 minutes added to your total time. Everybody knew Naruto was powerful, so they put him last, even though he would be somewhere around the middle. Sasuke impresses everyone with his 4-minute time, which is better than anybody else in the class so far. Then we skip a couple more turns, and it's finally Naruto's turn. Naruto completes. Naruto almost instantly just knocks out Mitsuki with just a single blow to the stomach, which Iruka was shocked at, but he shouldn't have been, as he knew Naruto was powerful, very powerful, and could even be considered a prodigy, just like his father, Kakashi Hatake. So Naruto passes with a 10-minute and 1 second timer. 1 second, because of course he took a little second to reach Mitsuki. And so Mitsuki is knocked unconscious, and so his plans won't be going until the next Genin exam, where Naruto or somebody else would have to steal the scroll. As Naruto also used his Jogen with a little bit of a genjutsu put on it, so that nobody would see it, but he used the Jogen ability of chakra pull to a very slim extent so that he wouldn't be recovering anytime soon. Naruto is proud of himself and explains that he did the best, and so when the class comes out the very next day, he expects himself to be at the top. However, it was rigged by the Hokage, and Menma is put at the top as the Rookie of the Year, even though he barely just passed. Naruto is a bit sad about this and looks for himself and notices to be in Menma's place, which he doesn't understand, and as he hates the Hokage, doesn't want to go over to him with it. But even if he did, it wouldn't help him much, as it's the Hokage's son that's in his position, and so nothing will be done about it, even if he tried. So Naruto just decides to leave it alone, and for this one, Menma was dead last, so therefore Naruto will be now the new dead last. And so the team selection has been assembled. As Naruto was the dead last and Menma top, they would have to be put on a team together. And Mito was the Kunoichi of the year, as well. Of course, it wouldn't be Sakura as like it was in canon, which still surprises me. Somehow she made top Kunoichi while being so useless. Anyway, so we'll make it Mito. So it's the original Uzumaki Namikaze family. However, they've almost completely forgotten that Naruto existed until now. And so they demand a change of team. However, as Konoha law, that cannot go, made from the first Hokage. Or second. But Menma and Mito, they demand a change, but it just won't happen. Minato already had decided that can't decide that their team, only who is the leader, and so he put Kakashi Hatake, knowing that he would train Menma and Mito very well. But little did Minato know that Kakashi would always be late and would barely train them, except for Naruto. So Kakashi and Naruto, Menma and Mito meet up at the roof. Let's just move there, and goes to begin introducing, as canon. However, instead, Menma will be canon Naruto, like all annoying. Naruto will be a Sasuke, but not as emo. And Mito will be a Sakura without the crush. So, yeah. However, she's actually still going to be pretty useful because Sakura was complete dog water. Kakashi does the first move. He says almost nothing about himself. Like, hi, I'm Kakashi Hatake. My likes are none of your business. My dislikes are also none of your business. And my dreams are none of your business. Mito, for this one, will get a bit mad at Kakashi, saying that he only said his name, but then go next and she says this: I am Mito Uzumaki Namikaze, daughter of the honorable fourth Hokage, and the most powerful kunoichi that there's gotta be, second to my mother. And my current dream, or my current dream, is to be the strongest kunoichi, and my likes are ramen and my family. My dislikes are not really there, while looking over towards Naruto. And then Menma goes next, because, well, they're spoiled brats. They think that they can just do as they want, even though Kakashi was about to ask Naruto to go next. So Menma goes: I am Menma Uzumaki Namikaze. I am the top of the class. Kakashi knows this to be false, as his son Naruto passed with flying colors, but was put in dead last instead of Menma, sorry. Then he goes through the regular stuff. I like ramen. And my family. I don't really like anything, but still looking towards Naruto, because both of them don't like him at all, because he's the monster, even though they are just as much as he is, but he's stronger. And Naruto and Menma says that he'll become the fifth Hokage. Datebayo, believe it. Right? And then it's finally Naruto. Naruto says that his likes are Kakashi Hatake, ramen, and his dislikes are not really there. Also, one of his likes is the Otsutsuki girl. However, she's asked to stay hidden for now, and only known to him. And Naruto, of course, agreed, because he didn't want the only other person who's been nice to him other than Kakashi to be thrown away or something like that, or killed, possibly. But Naruto goes on about all of this, and his dreams, he doesn't have one yet, he says. But he knows that it would probably be to take the spot of Hokage away from Menma and possibly throw Minato in jail for all of the crimes that he technically has committed against family, which still would be domestic abuse, I believe, or doesn't matter. And so Kakashi explains them to not eat anything for the bell test tomorrow, or they'll puke. Minato in this one will tell his kids that is false and that they should eat, because he's gonna spoil them. And Kakashi just lets Naruto eat, as he really likes Naruto and wouldn't want Menma and Mito to just bully him for something, because he knows Minato will most likely feed them, as he was one of the users of the bell test. And Kakashi feeds Naruto, and they go to sleep. The next day then comes up quickly, and Naruto arrives there just as late as Kakashi, as he didn't really memorize, but they both slept in very much, as Kakashi got his depression cured by Naruto, having to help Naruto slowly cure his depression, and it should now be gone, I believe. And that's how the story will go. And Naruto and Kakashi just slept in and ate breakfast pretty slowly while talking about stuff, and then walked there instead of just going. Menma and Mito, they are both pretty angry at Naruto for saying that it's his fault that Sensei's late, blah blah blah. That because he's a monster, he probably did something. But Kakashi then tells them immediately to be quiet. Naruto doesn't really know the full extent of the test, but he believes that it should be that. But he already knows that he has to take the bells away from Kakashi. But he feels like there's something more. However, Kakashi's changed the bell test slightly because he knows that the Hokage children will work together with each other, but not with Naruto. So he just made it that if they work together, they pass on, and if Naruto grabs a bell, he passes. And so it goes pretty normal. Like, imagine the actual bell test, but with Menma and Mito in it, and Naruto is like Sasuke hiding, being actually a good ninja, a little better than Sasuke was. And they all pass as Naruto got the bells. Menma then stole the bells from Naruto. Naruto had already passed, so Naruto didn't do anything, and he gave it to Mito as they were siblings. They had to look out for each other and make sure that the monster didn't pass. And Kakashi then exclaims loudly, "You all pass," which Menma and Mito were very angry by, that the monster passed even though he had no bells. But Kakashi said, to keep the original point of the test hidden, that Naruto had held a bell first, therefore he had a bell. And Naruto then does something and dispels, and the bells pop back into his hand, and in Menma and Mito's hand were clouds. Naruto seems a bit proud of this act, but Menma and Mito don't know why, as he probably just used his monster powers to steal them, because that's what they believe. And so they told the villagers that Naruto had cheated by using his monster powers, or becoming a monster and cheating them out of the bells, even though they still passed. And so Naruto's hated a bit more, but as long as Kakashi's there, they know they can't do anything. And so the rest will go on. The D rank missions we'll just skip that because it's really boring. I thought it was one of the worst episodes in the main canon, so I'll just skip it. And we'll go on to the Land of Waves mission. And for this one, Minato had secretly been funding Gato to make his prophecy children look more like prodigies when they saved the entire village from Gato. At least that's what he believed, but foreshadowing, it's actually gonna be Naruto. So they walk towards, and we'll go with immediately the two demon brothers, and Naruto immediately notices the genjutsu without even having to react, and just secretly uses chakra pull, like creates two clones, Otsutsuki clones, hides and sends them in the genjutsu with the Jogan activated to chakra pull them, and takes their entire chakra reserves, which in Naruto would kill a person. And so they never appear, but the genjutsu fades. And so Kakashi notices this, but there were no bodies, so he just ignored it, thinking Naruto might have done something. Menma and Mito, they were talking about how Naruto was just so useless and wasn't even gonna be a help in this mission. So they arrive to where Sabusa would be fighting them, and Kakashi says duck. Same, and pretty much the same goes on as in canon. He tells Naruto that he might be strong, but Sabusa is in a whole nother league, and unveils his Sharingan, which Naruto knew of course. Menma and Mito were a bit shocked, but they knew Kakashi a little bit. Minato had told them that he had it. Naruto then just watches, sees his dad get stuck in a water prison, slowly drowning, because I believe that's the effect of the water prison. But he then decides to take on Sabusa, and easily does so. Sabusa thought he was way out of his league and went easy on him, which proved to be the last mistake. Naruto did nothing but touch him, while he saw a slight something that looked like the Hyuga eye, and suddenly he felt like he had no chakra and he fell over dead. Haku got enraged, and his Kekkei went out of control, and just went straight for Naruto for having killed Sabusa, as he no longer felt the Sabusa's presence. Chakra signature, sorry. And so he goes over towards Naruto, and is immediately flung back as his Kekkei disappears. As Naruto is still using the chakra pull. And so when the ice mirrors, or when the ice hits him, it just disappears because he's taking the chakra away from the attack. Haku is very shocked about this, that someone can counter her Kekkei. That's what it was. But doesn't pay any attention to it, goes in, and then Naruto, just for a split second, touches him, and he falls to the ground dead, making this pretty easy mission. They get over to the land of waves, and since Sabusa isn't there, they get to finish the bridge earlier. Gato then arrives with all of his men. Menma and Mito had been waiting for that, as Minato had sponsored Gato, but told him not to kill Menma and Mito. Gato was going to do it anyway and then take control of the hidden leaf at some point. However, not right now, and he was going to keep the contract with the Hokage safe. As soon as Naruto notices Gato, he just walks over and touches each one of the men, and takes out all of the chakra that's in them. And of course, they're not gonna be prepared to just take on a kid. I mean, they're gonna be in fighting stances, but when he doesn't do anything, they are just confused and get left in a stun, kind of. You know what I mean. And so they just get stunned that he's not doing anything. He sees many armed men. He touches them and they fall on the ground. Now they're in even more shock, and so go on to and want to run, but they're already dead, as he created 2 clones to walk through. Gato's the last one remaining. Naruto teases him a little bit, like playing fun with how short he is, that he's almost a toddler. Touches him, and as he falls on the ground. And Tazuna just carefully treads over to see if they're okay, and to see if they're alive. And to his shock, they are not. There's not even a single pulse. They're all just dead, finished. But as Naruto hears all the villagers coming to attack Gato, he just looks at them and takes Gato and shows them that he's already dead. And so they calm down, and the rest just occurs. Naruto is declared the savior of the land of waves, and is praised as it. And the bridge is named the Great Naruto Bridge, as in canon. Naruto is a bit pleased that this is happening, that he's finally getting recognition instead of just rude stares. And Kakashi is also a bit happy for his son, but has to stay focused on the mission in case anything else happens. But Gato was dead, so that wasn't likely. But he could have hired something else. Naruto, Kakashi, Menma, and Mito head back to the village. Menma and Mito knew that they had to be the saviors of it. But if they said anything, Kakashi would just shut them and tell them to stay quiet. The group makes it successfully back to the Hidden Leaf Village, and in quite quick pace as well, as they didn't have to be as careful going back. Naruto, Menma, and Mito were dismissed as Kakashi goes to the tower to report in the mission findings. Naruto, after getting dismissed, ran over to the ran over to his friend, the Otsutsuki girl, and explains what he did and how he used the Jogan again to beat everybody else. And the Otsutsuki girl seems a bit shocked that he would do this, but is proud of him. And that's and tells him that they should learn some more abilities so he doesn't just pull out the chakra of everybody else to use himself. He then asked questioningly, use myself? And she said that it gets stored in his chakra pool instead of theirs. And so he realizes that he has more chakra now, but his tail beast, of course, took it and sealed it away, because any more chakra than he had now would be uncontrollable for him. He'd have to be very, very advanced at chakra control to even use 1% of the god Otsutsuki's current previous chakra. But Naruto's happy and then goes home to sleep as he's quite tired from using the Jogan that much. And that's where we'll be ending off today's episode. Thank you very much for the support on the last episodes, and good morning, good evening, and good night, and have a wonderful day.